Welcome to the Joe Thomas in the Morning podcast. I can say that with some authority, being Joe Thomas. What is about to follow are highlights strung together in context of this morning show on WCHV Radio in Charlottesville. You can stream it online anytime at WCHV.com or download the new smartphone app, which also gives you access to these podcasts. Who knows? That may be how you got here in the first place.
Here comes Rusty now down to the inside.
I'm Rusty Wallace, Hall of Fame NASCAR driver and MRN race analyst.
There's not even a car length between them.
If you've won in Southern California, you've really done something.
Larson goes to the mid-groove. Hamlin drifts up.
The combination of old asphalt and lots of room to race makes Auto Club Speedway one of NASCAR's fastest and most exciting tracks.
Making a run around the outside.
Join me and the entire MRN crew this weekend.
Brought to you by Charlie Obaugh Chevy.
Seville 107.5 and 1260 WCHV.
So I want to correct myself. If you have any T-shirts, if your kids were going to wear anything of the Black Israelites, they are no longer on the Southern Poverty Law Center's list of hate groups, believe it or not. I just went to check for those of you who are looking to see who these hate groups were. I thought, it would be as a public service, since these are now on Dr. Haas's guilty until proven innocent list, under the auspices of the email he sent home to parents. Clothing associated with hate groups has the potential to disrupt our learning environments. Effective Tuesday, March 12th, wearing of clothing with imagery associated with organizations that promote white supremacy, racial division, hatred, or violence will not be permitted in our schools. Now, I understand the dichotomy of white supremacy and racial division. Does a Black Lives Matter T-shirt? I need Jono Alcaro to clarify this. What have you told Dr. Haas? Is Kate Acuff going to weigh in on whether a Black Lives Matter T-shirt? But just for a handy, and you'll hear many familiar names, Act for America. These are, as the Southern Poverty Law Center determines, hate groups. Act for America, Alliance Defending Freedom, America's Promise Ministries, the American Border Patrol. This one is funny. If parents, I want to see if somebody can find an American College of Pediatricians. Maybe Governor Northam has an American College of Pediatricians T-shirt he could lend somebody, because they are on the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate group list. The American Family Foundation, the American Freedom Party, American Resistance. I thought Resistance wasn't that Mike Signer's deal? And some of them are obviously the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas, Aryan Nations, Adam Waffen, the Barnes Review, the Foundation for Economic Liberty, Blood and Honor, Brotherhood of Clans. Again, some of these are obvious. Center for Immigration Studies, Center for Security Policy. Does this mean, because I believe the chairman of the Charlottesville Republican Party is a policy analyst for the Center for Security Policy. Church of the National Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, Council of Conservative Citizens. This one is puzzling. The Creativity Movement. The Dustin Inman Society. Euro, not the currency, but the group. The Family Research Council, and of course we've had them on this program many times. I guess by association that makes me a hate group. Why, perhaps just sending if your kids have ever heard this radio show, because the Federation for American Immigration Reform, heck, I broadcast live from their event every year, perhaps just exposing your children to this radio program, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, which I believe has an office above the downtown mall here in Charlottesville. Family Security Matters, Family Watch International, the Fraternal Order of Knights, Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yes, the Mormons. The Mormons are a hate group. None of them around Charlottesville. Identity Evropa, Imperial Clans of America, Institute for Historical Review, the Jewish Defense League, OI, Keystone United, Kingdom Identity Ministries, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, League of the South, the Liberty Council, Moorish Sovereign Citizens. This is a black group. The Nation of Islam, Reverend Farrakhan's group, the National Alliance, National Coalition for Issue Reform. So, yeah, don't send your kids wearing a Nation of Islam t-shirt to Albemarle schools today. National Liberty Alliance, Nationalist Socialist Movement. Hold it, National Socialists are bad? I thought we had one on city council. Oh, no, you see, that's the secret to the open borders. See, open borders and socialism is actually Russian socialism, not German socialism. The National Vanguard, the new Black Panther Party. And it's good to see that there is some multiculturalism on the Southern Poverty Law Center list. The new Black Panther Party. The Nubian Nation of Moors. Our friend Willie won't like this. The Oath Keepers. Occidental Quarterly, the Pacific Justice Institute, Patriot Front, the Pioneer Fund, the Proud Boys, the Remembrance Project, the Rise Above Movement, the Ruth Institute. What? My own mother! My own mother is a hate group! Oh, my God! Social Contract Press, Stormfront, Traditional Values Coalition, the Traditionalist Workers Party. Hold on, I thought, wouldn't Workers of America Uniting, wouldn't that be so they're a hate group. VDARE, see, to be fair, some of these are leftist groups as well, like the National Socialists. VDARE, Vinlanders Social Club, my friends at the Westboro Baptist Church. Hey, I agree with you on that one, brother. White Lives Matter, White Revolution, the World Congress of Families, and World Net Daily. So if you've ever listened to this radio program or read a story from World Net Daily, your kids are already in trouble with Dr. Haas and Kate Acuff and John O'Alcaro and the rest of them on the Albemarle County School Board. And I can't even say you could have done anything about it because so pathetic has been the conservative movement politically through the Albemarle GOP. I know they run as independents, but you got to find them somewhere. So pathetic has been our efforts to win school board seats. We'll have 20 people running for U.S. Senate nominations and nobody running for school board. You bought your ticket, you ride your ride.
I'm CBS 19 meteorologist Jack Durkin for Seville 107.5 and 1260 WCHV.
And neither is wearing a Confederate flag or probably a WCHV logo. That's what we need. We need T-shirts for students. We need to get some WCHV T-shirts printed so the kids can wear them to school and get sent home. Today begins the ban on the First Amendment in Albemarle County schools. Ironic, since Thomas Jefferson's home is in Albemarle County, but We'll leave the irony to the collected at 434-964-1075. Do you have any questions about what's banned? Because it's very ambiguous. I have here the list from the Southern Poverty Law Center that includes Nation of Islam and the Jewish Defense League, among others, obviously. Federation for American Immigration Reform. Heck, I go there and broadcast my show from there every year. Hate groups abound. So Dr. Haas issues his edict, quoting here, wearing clothing with imagery associated with organizations that promote white supremacy, racial division. Now, and this is where Dr. Haas, I think, has made his fatal mistake. See, white supremacy and racial division are different things, at least as far as this reporter is concerned. So if, let's say, I was a young person whose parent was a police officer, and somebody wore a T-shirt that said, "Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. Black Lives Matter." Wouldn't that cause disruption to me and stress and pain and suffering? I'll get to you in 1 second, but I want to make this point very clear. Yes, I sounded a little mean-spirited when I ended the last segment on this, when I pointed out that for years now, conservatives, for the most part, have been mailing it in outside of the odd Jason Buyaki when it comes to school boards. We'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people running for Congress and the Senate, and 0 running for the school board. So as far as I'm concerned, don't cry to me now. Where were you when all these seats were up for election? We have 3 seats up for election on the board that oversees Dr. Haas's behavior. Never mind the school teachers that think girls giving a Lewinsky to a cucumber is sex ed. If you live in the Rivanna district, the Scottsville district, or the Whitehall district, you have elections this year. So is somebody going to run against Graham Page or Jono Alcaro? Who's going to, David Oberg. I'm sorry, Alcaro is that large. Oberg? What about Steve Kolazar? Jason Buyaki's not running for re-election, so who's going to stand up there? He's the last firewall. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Thomas in the morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is Lewis.
Good morning, Lewis. How are you doing, my friend?
Still breathing, I think.
All right. Well, that's always a good start to the day. You do that kind of inventory check.
Yeah.
So do you have a question as to what symbols might be considered verboten at the Avocado County schools?
Well, the way I understand that letter, a plain white T-shirt is going to be ruled against because it's the color white.
Well, and there are actual MSNBC commentators that will tell you that just being white is white supremacy.
Absolutely.
And so do we keep our Caucasian children home from school lest they be suspended just for their gender? And then haven't we come full circle to what Harry Byrd did when he closed the schools rather than integrate them in the 50s?
It would seem like that, yes. We seem to have a circular path in our meanderings through this tangled mess.
I suggested that somebody print a picture of Harry Byrd's statue out in front of the Virginia Capitol, which, of course, is also the capital of the Confederacy, and put that on a T-shirt. See if anyone sends you home. It's like we're back in the 40s and 50s, Lewis, when they wanted to ban rock and roll music. And I know CHV was the radio station of choice then as well. But gosh, we're back to that. Should I get out my Chubby Checker records and all that other music that needs to be banned?
Well, they couldn't ban wearing a T-shirt with Harry Byrd on it because he was a Democrat.
Oh, that's right. But he was a Democrat that didn't like black people.
Most of them don't.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the inconvenient truth of it, isn't it, Lewis? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, my friend. God bless. You see the problem with guilty until proven innocent and why it's not the cornerstone of what we do? This email comes into the springcreekliving.com email. Joe at WCHV.com is that one. Russ writes in, how about a T-shirt with Malcolm X? Well, the Nation of Islam is considered a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. So if that's what Dr. Haas and the rest of the Avocado County School Division is going by, then maybe. Charles writes in, what about a shirt with the hashtag 2A, as in the Second Amendment? He echoes my question about what about a Black Lives Matter T-shirt? Rich writes into the springcreekliving.com email address, Joe, there are two objectives to the school board proclamation. One, diverting attention from the racist, human infant murdering Maoist Governor Northam and his gang. Rich, I don't know if you heard earlier, I was reading the Southern Poverty Law Center's list of hate groups. The American Association of Pediatricians is one of them. So technically, Ralph Northam is a member of a hate group. Two, the American flag is next. He does ask, are Che Guevara and Fidel Castro T-shirts and or flags of foreign nations on the list? There is no list. It's whatever Dr. Haas at the Avocado County School Board wants to put forth. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Thomas in the morning. Who's this?
Hey, Joe, Charlie, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. What's on your mind, sir? Do you have a question about what might be banned imagery?
Can you imagine if an American of African descent young person were to wear a T-shirt with Malcolm X and being told to take the T-shirt off?
Oh, that's trouble there. See, that's why, it's mixed messages in his edict. It says wearing of clothing with imagery associated with white supremacy or racial division. See, Black Lives Matter is racial division for every time I've run into them.
Now, you're exactly right. They can't get out of their own way on this stuff. Instead of just saying we're going to treat everybody as an American, now we got to hyphenate everybody.
Absolutely, Charlie. I got to run, my friend. You have a great morning, sir.
You.
A couple of quick emails before we head to the top of the hour on our subject du jour, which is the beginning of the. You talk about the military is probably the least racially desensitized. I mean, everyone wears the same uniform, right? It's school uniforms, the answer. This one comes in via the smartphone app from Greg. Who will protect these young people in the real world? Aren't these snowflakes just being trained to be continual victims? Well, here's the other thing, Greg, that I've noticed. In my experience, and your experiences may vary, but kids are a whole lot tougher than I think we, the adults, think they are. Jeff writes in my opinion, all cotton clothing should be banned because that was the main reason for slavery. Oh, and the First Lady might, have to, join in with you on that. We need to switch to all polyester, but then that would be a problem with the Green New Deal since it requires oil. Better go back to all wool. And that's good for the Charlottesville economy because we still have shepherds around here. Last one before here, Crystal writes in, my fear is that at some point somebody is going to find my cross offensive and ask Dr. Haas to remove it from me. It's what happens when you open this Pandora's box.